Chemistry can be a good and bad thing. Chemistry is good when you make love with it. Chemistry is bad when you make crack with it. Now that I'm a parent, I understand why my father was in a bad mood a lot. I sang a song at my sister's wedding. My mother forced me into that, too. But that one felt alright. I'm 31 now. I think I'm beginning to understand what life is, what romance is, and what a relationship means. I was raised by a mother who told me I was great every day of my life. I don't know who I touch and who I don't. I work hard trying to make people laugh. I try to do the kind of stuff that made me laugh growing up. I don't have any secrets. I don't know the reasons I've been so well received. When you're around the kids, you feel like you act the most grown up just because you're supposed to lead. I say things, like every other parent, that reminds you of your own parents. One thing I do know about being a parent, you understand why your father was in a bad mood a lot. When I take my kid to school, all the parents stop and stare. I definitely connected to the fact that life gets out of control and you end up doing things and wishing you were doing other things instead. My movies just kind of sneak up on you. I don't have to worry too much about what everybody is going to say. Anyway, I really don't pay attention to what the world says about my movies. I just care about what my buddies think. Feels good to try. But playing a father, I'm getting a little older. I see now that I'm taking it more serious and I do want that lifestyle. 6th grade was a big time, in my childhood, of hoops, and friendship, and coming up with funny things. I've been called a moron since I was about 4. My father called me a moron. My grandfather said I was a moron. And a lot of times when I'm driving, I hear I'm a moron. I like being a moron. Sometimes you can't prioritize family and you feel guilty. How do I speak Spanish? Not too well. I've always had lots of friends and my house was the house they all hung out at. When I'm around the kids I feel like I act the most grown up just because you're supposed to. And I say things, like every other day, that remind me of my own parents. When I was younger and did a stand-up gig, it would take me 2 weeks to recover. Sometimes I'd get so panicked that I would stutter. It definitely is learning a lesson about the way you're living your life. I wouldn't compare our movie to that, but it has a structure where it's about a man who doesn't appreciate all that he has and finds out at the end that life has been great and he has to enjoy that. Well, I have a microphone and you don't, so you will listen to every damn word I have to say. Well, we're living in a material world, and I'm a material girl, or boy. My comedy is different every time I do it. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I still get very scared when I step in front of a live audience. Girls are soft and pretty. I'm not comfortable being around too many people. I don't like being out in public too much. I don't like going to bars. I don't like doing celebrity stuff. So most of the characters I play are people who don't always feel comfortable beyond their small circle of friends. A lot of critics object to what I do, but I got into comedy to make people laugh, and I've always worked hard. I mean, I look at my dad. He was 20 when he started having a family, and he was always the coolest dad. He did everything for his kids, and he never made us feel like he was pressured. I know that it must be a great feeling to be a guy like that. I had my moments of being humiliated, and then I had moments of doing something humiliating. I'm glad I lived out both roles. My grandmother used to embarrass me more, when she would pick me up from school wearing a big fuzzy hat. I didn't like that. I'm filthy rich. I've always liked older ladies, ever since my mother would have been a Brit at our house. I do love the films I've done in the past. I work hard in my movies and my friends work hard and we're trying to make people laugh and I'm very proud of that. I go to sleep thinking about my kids being spoiled and I wake up thinking about it. I'm not great at bedtime stories. Bedtime stories are supposed to put the kid to sleep. My kid gets riled up and then my wife has to come in and go, "All right, get out of the room." I'll continue to make the typical comedies. As a kid, I'd go into the bathroom when I was having a tantrum. I'd be in the bathroom crying, studying myself in the mirror. I was preparing for future roles. When I do stand-up shows at colleges, girls will talk to me after the show, and that always feels good. I like talking to them. To be honest with you, when I got into this I never thought about reviews. I never thought about what people would say about me. I was just a young guy who was excited to become a comedian and an actor and I just wanted to get to do what I got to do. I grew up cursing a lot. It felt natural. My parents told me to stop. I know I want to always do the best I can. My name is. I'm not particularly talented. I'm not particularly good looking. And yet I'm a multi-millionaire. My father wasn't perfect. He had a temper. I took some of that. He would snap, but the older he got, he started calming down. He learned about life, but the thing that he taught my whole family was that family was the most important thing and, no matter what, if a family member needs you, you go and help them out. You get there. I sing seriously to my mom on the phone. To put her to sleep, I have to sing Maria from West Side Story. When I hear her snoring, I hang up. I never had a speech from my father, "This is what you must do or shouldn't do," but I just learned to be led by example. My father wasn't perfect. With the amount of money I have, it's difficult raising children the way I was raised. My father used to wear the same pants for like a week. Sir, one more comment like that and I will strangle you with my microphone wire. I wasn't a kid growing up thinking, one day I'll get an Oscar and make a speech. That wasn't on my mind. I shouldn't be near Vegas and have money in my pocket. I was just a young guy who was excited to become a comedian and an actor and I just wanted to get to do what I got to do. When the kids are laughing in the audience, I tear up. I'm so happy I did a nice thing. Most of the stuff I do on the show comes out of me just trying to make my friends laugh. I can handle pain. I'm not looking to get away from anything. I like what I've done. I like what I get to do and I enjoy working with my friends. I loved those movies, but this is incredible. SNL is a home. You've got all of your brothers and sisters there, and it's a great time. I never thought about what people would say about me. I was just a young guy who was excited to become a comedian and an actor, and I just wanted to get to do what I got to do. I grew up cursing a lot. It's nice when little teams win. God gave me some weird, beautiful scent that makes men and women go crazy. People compare it to Carvel. It is a whale of a smell. I like sitting and writing with my buddies. My sisters are stronger and my brother's bigger than me. We just bought this house. It's too big. It's like 400,000 square feet, or something. We got an indoor lake and ski slope in the house. It's just too big. This character feels so much like my brother. He has 2 children. He has a wife. He works with me. He chooses to stay in New Hampshire because he wants his kids to grow up in the school they started with. He doesn't want them to lose friends. He is his family's hero. I think the reason I don't read is because, when I'm reading, I feel like I'm missing out on something else. You know, what are my friends doing? Where's my girlfriend? You know, when you don't go on TV and talk about how many women you sleep with, some people in Hollywood, that are supposedly in the know, start whispering that you're gay. If I were gay, I wouldn't be ashamed to admit it, but I'm not. When I'm up there, and I know the show's coming to a close, in my head I'm saying to myself, oh man, you gotta get off and be a normal person again. That's what I don't like so much. Through my films I'm eventually trying to one day tell the truth. I don't know if I'm ever going to get there, but I'm slowly letting pieces of myself out there, and then maybe by the time I'm 85, I'll look back and say, alright, that about sums it up. In high school I wanted to be a rock star and was in a lot of bands. Doing Saturday Night Live definitely affects my relationship with my girlfriend and with my family, because you feel so much pressure to do well that night. But I think everyone's grown to accept that, and so they give me my space at the show. I don't think about that. I wasn't a kid growing up saying one day I'll get an Oscar and make a speech. That wasn't on my mind. So what I do is the best work I can do. When I got into this, I never thought about reviews. I never thought about what people would say about me. I was just a young guy who was excited to become a comedian and an actor, and I just wanted to get to do what I got to do. In one day, I have times where I'm feeling great, I feel like I love my life, and then 2:30 rolls around and I'm the angriest man alive. My wife sees it. I prefer musicals, because I am the best dancer who ever lived. The best plies, the best sachets, and by far the best smelling capezios. The problem with me, as far as getting married and having a family, is that my comedy is so important to me. So I don't know if I'll ever be as good a dad as my dad. Kids end up seeing my movies.